I wouldn't think he would have a weak connection. That seems kind of strange to me.
Are we ready to go?
I'm back. I'm back.
Yep.
Are you ready, Tom?
Hold on one sec. Okay, what are we doing?
I think he would have a weak connection. We're waiting for Connie. Still.
Are we ready to go?
I'm back.
Okay, so sorry for those in the community that have been watching this and waiting for the delay. We had some technical difficulties. We're going to go forward with the special board meeting because it is within that half-hour window we had planned to hold the meeting. It may delay the public hearing, so somebody could pick up and we would still be in closed session and then hold the public meeting after. And then from there, hopefully, because we don't have a lot of feedback from the public hearing, we'll be able to move into the board meeting on time. So that being said, President, if you would like to call the meeting to order.
Yes, I call this meeting to order at 5:58. We have board members present physically, Nick Poloni, and then the rest of us are remotely, Ted Gergen, Steve Brown, Lisa Hines, and myself, Dana Powers, and we have 0 board members absent. Steve, if you could go ahead and read the motion.
Hold on one second. We should be moving through the slides. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so now if you want to call roll.
Oh, to go into, that is correct. Okay, we need to do a vote to go into close. So Lisa?
Aye.
Say aye. Okay, Steve? Wait, do we have to do that before?
No, it's a roll call because of remote access. It's a roll call for the open meeting, right?
Yes, so you're going to recognize who is present and who is absent. And then once you take roll call, then you would move on to the vote for closed session. And that's when you would read your reasoning.
Okay, so you want me to go through the roll call again?
For present, correct.
Got it. Okay, so Nick Poloni is our representative in person. Thank you very much.
Yep, I'm here.
Ted Gergen is remote.
Here.
Steve Brown is remote. Just stay here. Good. We'll recognize that as here. Lisa Hines is
here.
Remote, and
Yes.
Dave Powers here is also remote, and we do not have any members absent. Okay, go ahead, Steve.
Okay, are we going into close now?
Yes, please read the.
Oh, okay. I move to go into closed session pursuant to Wisconsin statute 19.851C, considering employment, promotion, compensation, or performance evaluation data of any public employee over which the governmental body has jurisdiction or exercise a responsibility. This is in relation to district administrator employment. The board will reconvene in open session to take any action from closed session, and this will be a roll call vote.
Okay, so moved.
Do we have a roll call to go into this now again?
Yep.
Oh, I still need a second though.
Oh, second.
Okay, what are we doing?
I think he would have a weak connection. So I'm waiting for you individually and you have to say aye. So
Are we
Ted
ready?
Gergen,
So we're ready to go?
Aye.
Nick Poloni,
Aye.
Steve Brown, Steve Brown, can you say aye? Or raise your hand.
Aye.
Thank you. Lisa Hines,
Aye.
and aye for Dana Power. We are now in closed and we will reconvene after closed.
Cool.
What do we do now?
And now we close out of this and go to the other, correct?
No, my understanding is we stay here and then Nick's link, once the motion has been approved. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, his link came through already.
Okay, so now we do that.
Okay, so we got to close out of this.
Yes.
Hey, Steve, you need to click on the link from the email that Nick sent through. Check your email, Steve.
Okay,
And
okay.
then you need to
Are we
close it.
closing out of this and going into the other site?
That is correct. Yep.
Okay,
So we'll
very
see.
good.
We'll see you soon. Hello.
Hi.
Hi. Why are we laughing?
Are we on?
Yeah.
But are we live? Or do we have our district with us?
I'm not sure. I think we got to wait for
Yeah.
our buddy. Nick.
Okay, we did need to do a motion to go out of close, which we didn't do.
Oh, whoops.
We can do it now.
I move
good.
that we go out of closed session at 6:31.
So moved.
Second.
Second.
All those in favor? Aye.
Who was the second?
Lisa.
From?
Lisa.
Okay,
So
thank
do
you.
we have to take a roll call though for any motion, right?
Yes.
Don't we?
Exit closed. Okay. Nick,
Aye.
Steve. Lisa,
Aye.
Ted.
Aye.
Awesome. Dana, I. We are out of close. Hey, Connie, are we back?
All right,
Or
thanks.
Nick? Are we back?
Let me just
everyone
confirm
back?
real quick.
Yes, we are back in session.
Correct. Awesome. Okay, so we are in open session. It is 6:32, if that entirely matters. And we will handle any action items coming out of our closed session.
Okay, I move to approve the hire of Dr. Connie Valenza for District Administrator effective July 1st, 2020 for a 2-year contract. I authorize Dana Powers to finalize contract negotiations with Dr. Connie Valenza from this point forward.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Oh, roll call.
Okay,
Lisa?
who was the motion by? I'm sorry.
Aye.
I didn't.
Lisa?
Did you hear me? Aye.
Yes, sorry. He's taking down food.
Okay.
Right. Okay, so Lisa said aye. Ted?
Okay, the motion was by
Aye.
Lisa, and the second.
The motion was by Lisa. The second was by me.
Thank you.
Nick?
Aye.
Steve? Steve, I just need you to say aye.
Aye.
Perfect.
Steve, aye.
Aye. And motion carries.
Yay, Connie! We're excited. Welcome. We're so happy to have you.
Got to get you a shirt now.
I'm excited to be here.
There's your glass of champagne.
Maybe
So
not on
saying
full
that-
rounds. Yeah,
So-
welcome.
There was cheering in the conference room next to us over here. So,
Really?
Oh,
Well, we'll when
awesome.
we're on official at 7, we'll hopefully hear some words here and then. So, yay! Should we go right into the hearing so we make
So-
sure?
So you would want to adjourn your closed,
Oh.
you would want to adjourn this meeting, the special board meeting, and then we could go into the public hearing, but you don't have to officially go into it. It's just a public hearing.
starts. Okay.
So.
I moved to close meeting at 6:34.
So
Roll. Who seconds?
do we still need to do a roll call, even though we're in open? Okay. Lisa.
Did somebody second?
I second it.
Oh, aye.
About the closed session?
This is,
The closed session,
No,
Was-
we're adjourning.
I made the motion.
Steve, we're adjourning the open session.
Okay,
Ted, did you already aye?
sorry.
Aye.
Steve? Just say aye.
Aye.
Nick?
Aye.
And Dana, aye. We are out of our open session, and I think we can jump right into the public hearing, Connie.
So we'll move into the public hearing session. This was set for 6 p.m. Apologize to anybody who's watching for the lateness of this, but we'll move into that at this point. We are at the public hearing on stage in the cafetorium, room 544, with public access to allow for social distancing and being live streamed. The topic of the public hearing is that the Salem School District Board of Education will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, April 14th at 6 p.m. on the stage in the cafetorium regarding the submission of a request to the Wisconsin Department of Public Education or Instruction, DPI, to waive the minimum number of hours of instruction set forth in Wisconsin Statute 121.02 for the 2019-2020 school year due to the ongoing COVID-19 public health emergency and school closure orders. I just want to bring to your attention the posting of this public hearing. We posted it on our website. We also posted it in public posting areas that people would typically go to. We submitted it to Kenosha News and submitted it to West of the Eye. We provided multiple options for feedback. Anybody who was interested in providing feedback could have sent written or recorded comments regarding the waiver to our board secretary, Diane Deegan, at Salem School District, either by mail or by email or by dropping them off at the district office. And we set some hours in order to do that. We did make sure that on our posting, written or recorded comments must be received by the district no later than 4 p.m. on Monday, April 13th, 2020. However, they could also submit written comments by handing them directly to Board Secretary Diane Deegan prior to the start of the public hearing that evening. I will share with you that we did not receive any comments from either mail, email, or any video comments submitted, nor was anybody in attendance this evening to comment. So that will wrap up the public hearing because that is the only information that we received. Following the public hearing, the way it would be set up is at our board meeting this evening at 7 o'clock, one of the action items would be for the board to approve submitting a resolution to DPI after having heard any of the comments that were submitted. So any questions on that? Okay. So again, there's not a need to officially adjourn. This is just a hearing. But at this point, because there are no comments to share with the public or share with the board, the meeting would be basically placed on hold. And then our 7 o'clock meeting tonight, that issue would be picked up again later in terms of the board taking an actual vote.
Okay.
Okay.
That's good.
Okay.
So do we just leave our screens up or should we all just exit out, or what do you suggest for the 20 minutes?
I think that we should exit out, and then what we'll do is we'll put up a screen for our next board meeting that would show the community that would start then at 7 o'clock. And then we should rejoin the meeting at 7 o'clock this evening.
Awesome. Okay, then we'll see your faces very soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Hello. Oh, there. Hello.
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 Oh, hello.
Seems like it's been so long.
20 minutes. So what's new, guys? Anything?
Just hanging out at school.
Do we need to sing another song together?
Sure. What would you like this time?
So we are live.
Oh, oh,
Yep.
my apologies.
Fantastic.
So I have that it is 7 o'clock.
Okay. Great. Do we have Steve? I can't see everyone's face here. Let me try and change this here.
Let's see if you-
I don't see Steve yet.
Okay,
Nope,
I
he's-
don't either.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just wait a couple minutes for him to jump on. Is Steve there yet? I still don't see him.
No, I don't see him yet either.
Should we call him?
Ted, you said that he.
Do you want me to call him? Did he?
Hey Steve, are you having trouble getting connected? Okay.
Oh, he just joined.
He's on. Okay.
Hey,
Okay. Steve, are you there? Steve. Do you guys see him? I don't even.
Hold on, I'm looking.
Okay.
Yeah, unmute. Steve, unmute.
I can't even see him now.
He's there, but
Okay.
he's muted.
Okay. So I'll go ahead. I call this meeting to order. It is 7:03. Members present, we have Nick Poloni physically. If you could just acknowledge.
Yes, I'm here.
And then other members present remotely, we have Ted Gergen,
Here.
Lisa Hines,
Here.
and Steve Brown. Can you hear me? Please say aye. Steve, I can't hear you if you're saying aye. Connie, is that good that we see his little bubble up, or what? How do you want me to?
I'm seeing him up there, but I don't know if he's able to respond. Is it possible that he has his mic off?
Okay. Steve, if you're there, if you could send Morse code or something to let us know you're there. Connie, what do you suggest?
Hold on one second.
Okay.
Is he there? So right now I have Dan calling him to
Okay.
see what the problem is. So
Hey, Nick, how many people are are at the school? Is there anyone there?
3, I believe, right now.
3, okay. And they're
Three, 3 visitors.
oh, okay. And are they sufficiently 6 feet apart?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have your yardstick that you can?
I can't see through the wall though, but
Yeah.
I'm going to assume.
Okay. Best of luck acquiring that superhero strength.
Connie did bring pool noodles for everyone to wear in there. So,
Why?
oh, the 6 feet parameter.
Oh, but pool noodle is 6 feet. I don't know that I realized that. Okay. That's good to know.
That pool noodle has a lot of uses.
It really does. It's the universal of noodles.
so I do see that Steve has joined the meeting. Steve, do you hear us?
Steve?
I think Dan's still on the phone with him here.
Okay.
For those of you in the audience watching, we apologize for the technical delays. We want to make sure that all of our board members are able to be a part of this meeting, so please be patient with us as we work through the technology issues.
Thank you, Penny.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes. Hi, Steve. Oh,
Hi there.
hi.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
We can hear you.
Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3.
I can hear you. Okay.
Okay,
Right.
I just need
okay,
you.
thank you.
Okay, so Steve, we're in the middle of roll call, so I'm Steve. So, okay, Brown. Okay, he's here.
Steve,
Okay,
are you
and
there?
Dana Power. Steve, can you? I need you to say aye. I need you to recognize that you're here.
Aye.
Awesome. And Dana Powers, myself, I am here. We have no members absent. And I know there's a bunch of you remotely, which is amazing. So, is that Steve's computer that's providing that feedback? Can you mute, Steve? Okay, we'll see if that works. Okay, so District Administrator employment update. So we've got some exciting news for you tonight. I don't know if you guys tuned in a bit earlier. We had a session which ended in an open session where we made the motion and announcement that Connie will be joining us for 2 more years. We will be finalizing her contract later on tonight, early tomorrow morning. And she is, of course, beyond excited, as are we. And this is an interesting process because we were reaching out to find new candidates, and we really learned that there was nobody better than Connie. And we want to thank all of you for your process. And that we had some absolutely amazing candidates. We were really lucky to have those, but this is such a crucial time right now, and really just having that continuity of leadership is just really good for us right now. So we are beyond excited. Staff, we want you to know that you're going to get another super fun video from me later. I hope you enjoy them. But just a way to grow our commitment and our passion for having Connie on board. So it is for 2 years, but who knows? Maybe we'll get lucky and get even more from her. So we'll take a year at a time, Connie.
You got 2 years.
Yes. Okay. So 2 years. That's great. So thank you to the staff. I know you guys were reaching out to me specifically. I'm sure a lot of other people, or a lot of other board members as well, but thank you for your messages. We heard you. We hope that you are as ecstatic as we are. And we're just really excited to be able to tell you guys this tonight so we can move forward knowing that, hey, we got everything handled here, right? So we are great. Okay. So that's the update there. And then I wanted, oh, great. Wait, one other thing. Can you go back a slide? Oh, yes. Okay. So we'll do the canvassing in a little bit, but I personally wanted to say a huge thank you to Ted. He has been absolutely amazing in even just the couple of short months that he was with us. He was very instrumental in a lot of our discussions and a lot of our time together. And I, for one, am going to miss him and his input with our school and our decisions. But I do not feel that he will go far. And who knows, maybe we'll see him on the ballot in 1 year's time. So, Ted, thank you so much for your amazing contribution. And don't forget about us here at the Rand School.
Yeah, thank you, Ted.
Thank you all. Dana, thank you especially for providing this great opportunity, taking a risk during the appointment process. I appreciate it and loved every minute of the 5 months that I've been part of the board. And I think some great things are happening and some strong momentum. And Connie, congratulations.
Great. Thank you, Ted. Appreciate it. Okay, so to clerk's report. Oh, go ahead, Ken.
So we'll talk about canvassed election results. We had that, it was a little bit close in terms of whether we'd be able to actually canvass this morning or not, but we did get all of our ballots in and we're able to do that. So I'm going to turn it over to Steve to share the canvassed election results.
Yes, thank you. On the votes here, as you can see, there were, as you can see on the slide here, for Dana Powers, 1,097, for Jack Nicolai, 894, Ted Gergen, 808. And there were 6 write-ins. Dana Powers will have the 3-year term. Jack Nicolai will have the 1-year term, and then there were the 17 write-ins. And also, I would like to also thank Don Ravel and Pam Llewellyn, who also served as the canvassers this morning, and also Diane. It went very, very smoothly, and thanks to Dan for making sure that had our live feed at that time, and I think it took about an hour and 10 minutes or so to do all of it, and we had all the votes from both the village of Salem Lakes, from Lipso, and also the village of Paddock Lake. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Connie?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, So just it pulls up as the main slide for our school district public hearing that was held earlier this evening. We did notify related to our 6 p.m. public hearing, although we did get started a little bit late with that. There is an actual resolution then that would be the result of that public hearing. What that resolution does is it is a request to DPI to waive the required hours of instruction for the 2019-2020 school year. And I wanted to just give an opportunity. It was posted pretty widely. We did have multiple avenues for people to submit commentary related to that waiver. It could have been submitted as written commentary, could have been email commentary. A person could have actually come to this hearing and offered written commentary, but we actually did not receive any commentary through any of those avenues. So to review the hearing commentary would be a very short job this evening. But at this point, if board members have any questions or things related to the waiver, now would be a good time to do that. And then the recommendation would be to approve a resolution to the Department of Public Instruction to waive the required hours of instruction for the 2019-20 school year.
I move to approve the resolution to the Department of Public Instruction to waive the required hours of instruction for the 2019-2020 school year as presented.
And it would be helpful as people make motions just to make sure that they state their name when they do that so that we can get that in the actual minutes.
Yes, sure. Steve Brown. And again, I'll make the recommendation again. I approve the resolution to the Department of Public Instruction, the required hours of instruction for the 2019-2020 school year as noted.
Okay, so moved. Nick Maloney,
Second.
Ted Gergen. Oh, I'm taking aye.
Yeah.
Aye.
There was a second and then, yeah.
Okay, awesome. Ted, aye. Are we good, Connie? We do.
Yes, so my understanding is that Nick seconded the motion, and for
Okay.
now you would do a roll call vote. And again, the reason for doing a roll call vote is because not every viewer may be able to see who is responding aye. So for this particular reason, we would do the roll call vote.
Okay. Nick Maloney,
Aye.
Ted Gergen,
Aye.
Lisa Hines,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
Dana Powers, aye. And motion carried.
So then the next thing we need to do is to go through the same process to set a public hearing to request a waiver from DPI for the educator effectiveness evaluations for 2019-20 summary year educators rather than extend their summary years. So let me explain a little bit about that. We are, as a school district in the state of Wisconsin, under some legal requirements related to educator effectiveness, where every 3 years our teachers are in what would be called a summary year. And during that summary year would document a process of teacher observation, kind of meetings with their supervisor, and then an overall summary evaluation process. We, as well as many other districts in the state as well, feel that to carry through with that process with integrity does create a level of stress for both our administrators and our teachers. If you could imagine at this point trying to go in and observe a teacher doing the virtual learning lessons and that type of thing that they do, and then use that as an accurate representation of their teaching, we believe creates a level of stress that right now probably is not necessary for our staff. I did want to point out, though, that if we do this in moving forward, it doesn't mean that our teachers go unevaluated. It doesn't mean that there is no standard or a overall improvement process that our staff is working on. What it does mean is that we would be holding this public hearing, so I'd be asking the board this evening to set a public hearing. Again, the same process where people would have an ability to send in written information, to give commentary or video commentary related to that particular waiver. But one of the other things that I want to clarify is that we have been very clear with our administrators that this doesn't mean that, for example, they could not move forward with if they felt a teacher needed to continue in another summer year going into next year. But what it does do is it prevents a situation where now we're doubling up teachers in the summer year. So instead of having about a third of our staff on that, we now next year have 2/3, which would make it next to, impossible for our administrators to actually go through that process effectively. So again, overall reasons to relieve anxiety on the part of both teachers and administrators. The fact that it will be very difficult to complete legitimate observations of staff. Also the fact that many of our teachers may have based their student learning targets on testing data that they will no longer have access to because of our students not being here. And again, just as a reminder, I've shared that the administrative team that this would not prevent them from putting a teacher on a plan of improvement or repeating the summer year. The only thing it does is it waives the requirement of uploading from the district perspective aggregate teacher evaluations to DPI. So my recommendation would be that the board set a public hearing to request a waiver from DPI. And my recommendation would be that you set that public hearing for the 6 o'clock time before our next regular board meeting, which would be April 28th. So that would be the recommendation. Now, the one caveat to all of this is if you've been following the legislative agenda, there is at the state level actually a proposal to just completely waive or umbrella waive everybody under educator effectiveness. And that may well take place in the next week. And if that does occur, then we would just cancel this hearing. But I also want to be careful not to move forward if it doesn't pass, because by that time, then the soonest we could do the waiver request hearing would be sometime in May, which is probably too late to go through that process. So any questions on that?
How long does that process take when you say, so we make the recommendation or we send in, how long does it take DPI to respond?
So DPI would respond almost immediately. It is an expedited process, but it does require where the board would actually set the hearing, then would have the hearing, and then would set that information. So if we waited, for example, to see what the legislator does, and then if they don't do anything, then the nearest we could probably set that next hearing would be in May, like May 24th or May, whatever that last board meeting is in May, which is really too late. By that point, your teachers are probably at that point where, well, do I move forward or don't I move forward with the things that I'm doing? So my guess is that the state will do a blanket waiver, but by in this meeting setting the public hearing, it kind of protects us that way if they do not.
Mm-hmm. Okay, understand.
Motion?
I can do it there. I motion for the consideration of setting public hearing for April 28th at 6 p.m. for the resolution to the Department of Public Instruction to waive educator effectiveness requirements for the 2019-2020 school year, and that was Nick Coloni.
So moved.
Lisa Hines, second.
Okay, I'm going to do a roll call. Nick Coloni.
Aye.
Ed Durgan.
Aye.
Lisa Hines.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
And Dana Powers. Aye. Motion carries. Thank you.
Okay, so now we'll have to do something very similar to what we did at the last board meeting, except this would be to approve an emergency pay structure for salaried employees to extend from the April 4th, 2020 to the end of the day on April 30th, 2020. It will be somewhat similar to our hourly employees, but it will actually be fewer motions because there are fewer things that would apply to salaried employees. The first one, though, is actually not one that you have to make a motion on. It's just an informational. And that is that if an employee is not eligible for enhanced FMLA, but is eligible for category A, that would be the 2 weeks of paid leave because they are subject to a quarantine or isolation order, the employee is eligible for his or her regular compensation for 2 weeks up to a regular hourly rate or $511 per day, whichever is less. And so that would cover our salaried employees, and that's why, and it is not an option. So that's why I'm not asking you to actually make a motion on this particular one. The next one, however, is a little different. This is for the employee that would be caring for an individual who's experiencing COVID-19 symptoms or is subject to a quarantine or isolation order. And this is one where the board would have some autonomy on. The law requires that it be paid at 2/3 the employee's regular hourly rate or $200 per day, whichever is less. My recommendation to the board would be to consider to pay our salaried staff that would choose to take or would take that leave at the base wage rate for our teachers, which is $229.95 daily, or prorated based on FTE. So in other words, if they were 50%, it would be 50% of the $229.95 daily.
Okay, Lisa Hines, I move to approve for full-time employees that need to take leave.
Under this category.
What's that?
So it would be under this particular category. So that would be to care for a employee or for an employee to care for someone who has those symptoms or is subject to an order.
And that needs to be in the motion?
Nope.
Okay. To pay these employees a base wage rate of $229.95 daily or prorated at an employee's FTE without requiring them to use their accrued paid leave or requiring them to work.
Steve Brown, I second that.
Awesome.
Go ahead.
Either way. Okay, roll call. Nick Maloney.
Aye.
Aye.
Lisa Hines.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
Tina Powers. Aye. And motion carried. Thank you, honey.
So this one would be for an employee that's otherwise eligible for the enhanced FMLA leave because the employee was caring for his or her child whose school or child care facility was closed due to COVID-19, and the employee did not actually perform work for the district during this time. They would be eligible for these benefits. So very similar to this, this is the law requires that the first 2 weeks under this category that the employee could take unpaid, could use accrued paid leave, or could use the EPSLA category B paid leave, which is at 2/3 of pay. Then the next 10 weeks, if they were to take that at that time, would be paid at 2/3 of the hourly rate or $200 per day, which is less. I'm making the same or asking the board to consider the same recommendation, which would be rather than paying the 2/3 or the $200 per day, that they pay the base wage rate of $229.95 daily or prorated at the employee's FTE without requiring them to use their accrued paid leave.
Okay, Lisa Hines, I move to approve for this category to pay an employee the base wage rate of $229.95 daily or prorated at the employee's FTE without requiring them to use their accrued paid leave or requiring them to work.
So moved.
Second, Nick Poloni.
Nick Maloney. Say aye.
Aye.
Oh, okay, Ted Gergen.
Aye.
Lisa Hines.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
Dana Powers, aye. And motion carries.
And then this last one, again, similar to what we did at the last board meeting, this would be for somebody who has a serious health condition not related to COVID-19. The employee would be eligible for regular FMLA leave. I'm asking the board to consider to again pay the base wage rate of $229.95 daily or prorated at the employee's FTE without requiring them to use their accrued paid leave. So again, this would be the employee, for example, that has diabetes or has some other immune suppression. So it's not related to COVID-19, but they do have a health condition that could create risk for them to be here on site.
Okay, Lisa Hines, I move to approve in this category a pay to employees at base wage rate at $229.95 daily or prorated at an employee's FTE without requiring them to use their accrued paid leave or requiring them to work. They will need to provide the district with a doctor's notice documenting a serious health condition.
So moved.
Nick Poloni, second.
Awesome. Roll call. Maloney.
Aye.
Ted Gergen.
Aye.
Lisa Hines.
Aye.
Steve Brown.
Aye.
Dana Powers, aye. And carries. Motion.
And then just a recommendation, just like we did with our hourly employees, would be to stipulate that no employee may accept additional outside employment during their typical scheduled hours unless those hours have been changed by their supervisor to provide flexibility.
Do you need a motion on this?
Yes.
Lisa Hines, I move to make a motion to stipulate under salaried employees that no employee may accept additional outside employment during their typical scheduled hours unless those hours have been changed by their supervisor to provide flexibility.
So moved.
Steve Brown, I second that.
Oh, Steve can have it.
Steve. I will go in reverse order this time. Steve Brown.
Aye.
Lisa Hines.
Aye.
Ted Gergen.
Aye.
Nick Maloney.
Aye.
And Dana Powers, aye. Motion carries.
So we have a couple bids that I would like the board to approve during this time while we're trying. Obviously, we don't have students and staff on, but one of the things that is allowed under the governor's orders is to provide for essential infrastructure repairs. So one of the things I'm asking the board to approve two bids. These bids actually do not meet the threshold that would require a board vote, but because they're somewhat related, the combination of the two does meet that threshold. So I'm asking the board to approve them rather than, because the combined amount is larger than what the actual, which is set at 25,000. So even though each one is not over 25, the combined is. So the first bid is to address some water leakage issues into the underground tunnels in the building. That's kind of by the south well pump room inside the kids club office. Consideration of the bid to address this leakage plus related to the failure of the drain pipe to install a new water heater, mop sink, and basin. The bids that we received are somewhat confusing, so I want to spend a little bit of time because the bid that we're actually recommending is the highest of the three bids, but there's a reason for that. The Northern Mechanical bid came in at only $3,887. However, that does not include the water heater or replacement of the drain and drain tile or the electric hookup. Basically, that's a bid that says the initial work is the $3,887, and then any additional work that's found to be, to need to occur after that would be at time and materials. The reason we know that it will be more than that is because the two other contractors have already run a camera down that drain pipe to recognize that that pipe is not is going to need to be replaced. So Southport Engineered Systems came in with a bid of $10,850, but that does not include the water heater, the floor drain, or the electric connection. Lee Mechanicals came in with a full, complete bid of $18,557.30, and it does include the cost of replacing the water heater and replacing all of the tile, which has already been determined to be bad, and the electric. In speaking with Steve Squires, our district maintenance director, he recommends Lee Mechanical as doing quality work and having the most complete bid. As I mentioned before, Lee and Southport actually put a camera into the pipe to determine the need for replacement. So the recommendation would be to accept the Lee Mechanical bid at $18,557.30 as presented.
So Connie, the relatively $8,000 difference between the number 2 and the number 3 contractor. Do you think that for Southport that the water heater, floor drain, and electric is $8,000? And the reason why I'm asking this because I think that's a lot of money for those 3 items. I mean, I don't know the exact detail that's going into it, but why wouldn't Southport quote on those items?
So I think it was the way in which they set up the bid. Initially doing the water leakage, but then based on that, what would need to be completed within that to address the actual overall issue. So if you put the money into replacing and fixing the water issues, you're still dealing with a water heater that's beyond its useful life. And then, so you could have gone, I guess at this point, we could have gone back and asked for a more complete bid. It was Steve Squires' opinion in talking with all of the different contractors that the bid for Southport and Northern, by the time they completed the additional work that needed to be done, would be over $20,000, and believing that the Lee Mechanical bid at $18,557 was still less than what the other 2 companies would come in with in their completed bid. It's
okay. All right. Fair enough. I mean, just take a water heater, for example. I mean, that's not that expensive. A water heater in the grant for $8,000, including all the 2 things that are accompanying that. And it's just hard to make a decision based on 3 quotes that are completely not comparable.
Right. And I understand that. I would say one of the things would be that it's not a typical water heater. This would be a water heater for a large commercial building as opposed to kind of a home water heater. If there's a feeling, unfortunately, kind of because of the way we're meeting remotely, Steve wasn't able to be here. But if you're uncomfortable with that, I think one of the options could be to table this and then bring it back at the next meeting and then ask Steve to actually be a part of the meeting.
No, that's all right. I mean, if board members have other opinions on it, that's fine. But we're
this is Steve Brown. I'd like to make a motion. This is Steve Brown. I'd like to make a motion to accept the bid from Lee Mechanical to complete at the $18,557.30 as presented.
So moved.
Nick Poloni, second.
Awesome. Nick Maloney,
Aye.
Ted Bergen,
Aye.
Lisa Hines,
Aye.
Steve Brown,
Aye.
and Dana. Aye. And one more carries. Thank you, Connie.
Okay, so this one will be a little easier. This is also for a water leakage issue under the restroom and mechanical room. Just a reminder that we've been kind of trying to address some of the water problems that we've had for quite a while now and getting more information on them. In this case, we did receive the same three companies gave bids. This one, Lee Mechanical, is actually the lowest bid. So Northern Mechanical through Share came in at $11,500. Southport Engineered Systems came in at $9,480, but did not include the sink and the faucet in their bid. And then Lee Mechanical came in at $7,755. Steve Squires, the district maintenance director, recommends Lee Mechanical as doing quality work and as having the lowest bid. So the recommendation would be to accept the bid from Lee Mechanical to complete the work at $7,755 as presented.
Steve Brown here. I move to accept the bid from Lee Mechanical to complete the work at $7,755 as presented.
So moved.
Nick Poloni, second.
Awesome. Steve Brown,
Aye.
Lisa Hines,
Aye.
Ted Bergen.
Aye.
Is that your job, Ted? That's the beast. Nick Maloney.
Aye.
And Aye. And Jane Powers. Carrie.
So back to, if you recall at our last meeting, I said I would request that we scheduled some committee meetings coming up. At that time, it just didn't work out really well during that next week, and we were able to move into the next kind of topics without having that meeting. But I would like to request that we do hold these meetings or schedule these committee meetings for a couple reasons. Coming up at our April 28th meeting, we have some pretty significant financial decisions to make as it relates to the remainder of the year. So if you recall, all of those, both for hourly and salaried employees, we said that the decisions that were made would go through the 30th of April because that's when the initial governor's safe at home closure came into play. But I believe it is possible that it may be continued beyond that April 24th date. And so I would like to have a more in-depth conversation, both related to our overall district finances and then also related to personnel in the committee level, so that when we go into making recommendations at the next board meeting related to those topics, again, we've had an opportunity to kind of discuss things in more depth. So my request would be to schedule committee meetings during the week beginning April 20th, sometime during that week, both for Finance Committee and then also for Personnel Committee.
Okay, so finance is Nick and Lisa, correct?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't necessarily need to check my schedule. I'm good. I looked for a second. I looked for a second and I'm like, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, so when do we want to put it?
And we could certainly hold that meeting remotely.
Okay. Should we plan for like next week, Tuesday?
2 weeks.
Does that work?
During the day, it doesn't matter to me.
Yeah, it doesn't matter to me either.
Can we do during the day, Connie, or is that
My schedule is very open also.
wide open as well? Nate, are you you able to maybe study during the day or with your work schedule? Nick,
What did
are
you
you able to do during the day?
No, I can do it during the day at this point. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
Yep, I'm all good. Whatever.
Connie, can we
So
just
is there a
email
date?
on times, or do
So-
we need to do it right now?
So did I hear something about Tuesday? Did somebody
Yeah.
mention Tuesday?
During the day.
So would
Yeah,
Go with Tuesday.
Tuesday at, what's a good time? Morning or afternoon is better?
How about afternoon? 2 o'clock?
Nick? 2
2
o'clock,
o'clock.
Nick?
Sure.
So then what I'm hearing is Tuesday, April 21st, is that the date? At 2 o'clock, okay? That would be finance and then personnel.
Before we adjourn, one of the things I wanted, before we adjourn, for our April 28th meeting, one of the things I'd like to ask, and I'll send an email to Diane as far as for the agenda. I've had several people in the community just ask me in general how things have been going as far as the e-learning and the online. So maybe if we can get an update, just when I say an update, just if we just get some idea of how well things have been going, and just get some examples of maybe how the virtual learning process has been going, so we can just get an idea of the process that our outstanding teachers and have been working with our students.
Yeah, and I think once we get this committee meeting set and we talk about the actual board meeting, that will be a much more traditional board meeting where we'll have like principals reports and that type of thing. So that will be a great opportunity to share that. But I just want to make sure we're scheduling this last committee meeting, which would be the personnel committee. And my understanding is that is Dana and Lisa, correct?
Correct. Do
Yes.
you want that to go before or after finance, or does it not matter?
Does not make any difference.
Okay,
Doesn't matter to
then
me.
what if we do noon? Then you can do personnel and then to finance. Would that work?
Sounds good. Does that work for you, Lisa?
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Do we need that
personnel,
kind of time? I guess it doesn't matter. We're going to do both of these meetings remotely, right?
correct.
Okay.
So what I'm hearing is personnel would be noon on April 21st, Tuesday,
Yes,
correct?
correct.
Okay, and then finance again would be April 21st, Tuesday at 2 o'clock.
Do we need, what kind of time do we need for personnel?
I think an hour would be good.
Okay, can we back up? Hey, Nick, can we back up finance then to 1 o'clock?
10-4.
Okay,
What?
so do the one and then, yeah, that was a yes.
12 and 1. Yeah, because then, right.
Okay,
Okay,
all right.
Very busy, right? Very.
Okay,
Just-
so then kind of just a little bit back to what Steve was referring to. So upcoming school board meetings, remember this evening, you already scheduled the public hearing for 6 o'clock on April 28th. Our regular school board meeting is April 28th, 2020 at 7 p.m. What I heard Steve request is to give some updates on our e-learning that's been going on. And I will make sure that we do that, but I'll also make sure our administrators have an opportunity to give an updated administrative report at that meeting as well. So anything else
Sure.
you would like to see on that agenda before we adjourn?
Well, we can always
and then
email
we'll
you.
have. Sure.
yep,
sure,
I would say
Sure.
pass us
And-
an email.
Anything else? Some
myself.
emails.
Yep.
Right, and then also the swearing in of our new board member.
Correct, yep. So,
Right. Okay.
okay,
Very good.
great.
And
Okay,
also,
fine.
I didn't get a chance.
Go ahead, Steve.
Go ahead, Steve.
No, I was just going to say. I just wanted to. I heard some other people thanking Ted for his outstanding service, and Ted, thank you so much for your service on the board. It's been incredibly appreciated. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you. Then I move to adjourn the meeting at 7:49.
Lisa Hines, second.
Oh, that was Dana Powers, by the way. Roll call vote, Nick Coloni,
Aye.
Ted Gergen,
Aye.
Lisa Hines,
Aye.
Steve Brown. Steve, can you say aye? We'll take that as an aye. And Dana Powers, aye. And we are adjourned.
Thank you, everyone.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you, everyone.